This storm is racing off to the northeast, like Matt said, moving very fast at 55 miles per hour. If you are in the path of this storm, you need to seek shelter now. Very dangerous storm, and I believe probably Matt is looking at our sky cam. We're going to probably try and see if we can't get a very good view of this storm right now, see if we can't see any circulation or even a wall cloud possibly.
And Jen, I do think we can see a wall cloud off of our tower cam right now.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and pop it up, and if you can pop me on the camera here, we'll discuss this. I do see a wall cloud on this thunderstorm at the very least there. Here's the Rain Fury base. We're looking from our Tupelo tower cam back toward the southwest, and where our actual location is in Saltillo, a little bit to the west, northwest of the mall, very near the Natchez Trace. So this is our wall cloud. If we were to see rotation, we'd be looking in this area. And I will tell you now, this will do us a lot more good in about 10 minutes than it's going to do us right now. But we are going to keep a very sharp eye on this, because if we see tornado on anywhere, this would be the most likely place right now. So we're monitoring this, and we'll come back to that sky cam, that tower cam here in just a couple of minutes. Let's go back to Storm Track Doppler radar. And on Storm Track Doppler radar, we are, you can still see the track that Jen had up there, Sherman 303. You're only a few minutes away from that. This is almost right on top of you, and certainly a very significant, dangerous, and if you don't react properly, could be deadly situation south of Blue Springs with very strong rotation. That could be a tornado either in the generation phase or trying to form as we speak. I will say that just a minute ago for Prentiss County, we were a little bit less impressed with this thunderstorm, and it has once again re-strengthened. That's the reason we didn't want to pull our guard down too far near Searcy City, approaching Strickland. Rotation that could be a tornado in the development phases right now. The latest look on Storm Track on Doppler. As far as the wind mode, we're getting a little bit farther away from the radar site there in Memphis, and for that matter in the Golden Triangle, so it becomes a little more obscured as far as the wind part of Storm Track Doppler is concerned. That's just one of those facts of life as far as radar meteorology is. But there is at least one circulation, I'd say north of Searcy Town near Strickland. This has been a long track thunderstorm with a history of producing damaging tornadoes. It needs to be taken very seriously. If you live near Strickland in northern, in eastern Alcorn County, this is a close call for Corinth. Corinth, you still probably need to be in your tornado safe place, but certainly folks who live closer to Strickland, there's a much greater likelihood that this could be a tornado. So we switch it back to precipitation mode on Storm Track Doppler radar. We need to assess a wider scale of what's going on to get a better overall picture. I want to address our tornado emergency still ongoing down for Noxubee County. This thunderstorm has gone through a little bit of a change over the last 25-30 minutes or so. We'll look at it from our Jackson radar. Previously, this had reports of a radar indicated tornado, and also tornado that was on the ground in Philadelphia that at one point was nearly a half-mile wide. That is still a very, very dangerous thunderstorm, and it is heading, as opposed to towards Sugarlock, which we were thinking might be a possibility. I'm going to be putting it closer to Macon. This is still potentially a tornado. It's not quite as strong, but it's still, I mean, it'd be hard to have it as strong as a half-mile wide.
Just to mention, getting reports from the National Weather Service that's from MSU's Chaser that 3.6 miles south of Macon, debris is coming out of the sky.
Debris is coming out of the sky. That can mean two things. Either number one, we still have a tornado on the ground, or number two, the storm is weakening. And you might ask the question, well, how can it be two things that are opposites? Well, if the updraft, or what keeps the air up in the thunderstorm, weakens somewhat, that could sometimes allow debris to fall. But once again, repeating John's report, a Chaser down south of Macon reporting in the downdraft part of this thunderstorm, debris falling from the sky, potentially from impacts on locations near Golston and perhaps even as far south and west as Philadelphia when it was a half-mile wide tornado on the ground. This is certainly still a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation that needs to be taken seriously. We're looking in western Noxubee County locations. If we can get a couple more to pop on the map here. May Spring tornado shelter now. Should have been tornado shelter 5 minutes ago, but be tornado shelter now. Macon, this is going to be a very, very close call. In fact, last scan, this is again heading a little more east. Macon, this might make impact on your community. Do not let these seconds tick by without doing something. Make sure to go to your tornado safe place immediately. Lowest floor of your home, center part of that lowest floor. grab some blankets and pillows off the bed. And the reason I say blankets and pillows, frankly, with this storm, you grab a mattress. But if you're Jen's size, if you're my size, it might be difficult to get a mattress all the way in. I know John can carry one. But you need to grab blankets and pillows because anybody from a kid to an adult can carry those, take them with them, and go into a centermost room and get under something sturdy. Maybe that's a bed. Perhaps that's inside of a bathtub. But this is a serious and potentially deadly tornado emergency. And if you haven't heard that term before, it's because they don't happen often. One happened, I believe, last year in Yazoo City. I know there have been about 10 or 12 total, at least that I've been aware of, and there might have been more than that, but certainly there haven't been that many issued ever. So heads up, that is a significant weather situation. Okay, Houston, we are also dealing with a significant weather situation encroaching upon you very rapidly with thunderstorms that have a history of rotation that could lead to the development of tornadoes. Certainly this thunderstorm here approaching from the southwest is very intense. It's going to be northwest of Woodland, near Atlanta, Mississippi, Tabbville. Rotation pretty much right in between at this time, heading toward the northeast. I'm going to get the direction exactly right on this. It's going to be close for Houston. I would say locations north of Holiday.
Hard to tell.
I would say you're probably in the clear for the tornado potential. Now that could change, but certainly Houston, heads up. Sonora, heads up. Woodland, heads up. This is a tornado in the generation or actually occurring, because most of the time we get these tornado reports after they've already touched down, after they already caused damage.
Yes.
And so this is a very significant situation in that regard.
Let's see if we can take that tower cam shot again, if that's possible.
And the tower cam shot is going to be looking, this is our storm that is approaching from the southwest. This is moving through Pontotoc County, now pretty much on the three-county intersection of Lee, Pontotoc, and Union counties, looking back toward the southwest. A live look out of our Tupelo tower cam. Okay. And I don't know if it's possible back in the control room to do a double box on this. Let me know in my ear if that's possible, if that's reasonable, if I should expect it or not. But if we could, I'd like to point out radar next to the image there, and we're going to get that up for you in a second, because this is a telling image for a couple of reasons. Number one, because whatever rotations we would be seeing would be likely rain-wrapped, and number two, because it certainly could be fast-moving. You can see some of the features on this thunderstorm there.
And I just want to add something really fast. We're getting reports from emergency manager in Alcorn County, about 2 miles east of Rienzi. A tornado is on the ground at Highway 356 east of Rienzi. Debris in the air west of Leedy.
West of Leedy. Let's get this right. Now, what was the time on that? Because
2:57, probably about 7-8 minutes ago.
Okay, well, let's go back to Storm Track Doppler. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go back to Storm Track Doppler, and we're going to walk it back to 257. This is one of those things that makes meteorologists absolutely batty, because that is not an intense rotation, yet it now has a history of producing a tornado, at least a brief tornado there. So that is the rotation as we show the latest scan that's near Burnville right now. Burnsville, Tishomingo County, that could be a tornado on the ground with this. If there are reports of debris, this is what we produce, a low precipitation supercell. Go ahead.
It did have a pretty strong rotation. That was still the storm that moved through Union County. So it did have a stronger rotation when it moved through Rienzi.
Okay, when it moved through Rienzi, it did. But this would have to. So is the time wrong then on the report? Because if we trace that back to the stronger, yes, that time might be a little bit off on that report. Because I see it there near Searcytown at 2:51. Let's walk it forward. That'd be Strickland. Okay, maybe the time is still okay with that, but if I click it over, let's just look at precipitation if we can. See if we can keep it at the same time. That rotation is embedded there.
Probably not. I mean, it could have been a brief touchdown, but
it's certainly a significant situation and needs to be treated as a very, very dangerous situation. John,
did you get the report from Noxubee County just a couple of minutes ago? National Weather Service storm spotters are tracking a large and extremely dangerous tornado. This tornado located near Marshallville, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour.
Okay. So that's down
about 5 minutes ago.
south in Noxubee County. We're not going to have a lot of time to hit any of these warnings. There's a couple I've neglected a little bit and we're going to get to right now. But certainly if you live near Macon, this is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous situation. The storm heading toward the northeast will be making impact near Macon. Latest scan coming around. Let's wait for the full update there. But I would say pretty much right on top of Macon as we speak. So a major heads up. This has been a confirmed report of tornadoes on the ground. Houston, for folks who live in Chickasaw County, this is potentially a tornado as well, moving from the southwest. A dangerous, dangerous, dangerous situation unfolding. Wind speeds very strong directly south of Houston. You need to be in your tornado safe place if you live in Houston. I'm tracking this tornado toward the northeast. I would take it from Houston pretty much along Highway 8, and actually it's going to cross over the Natchez Trace within about the next minute or two into a relatively rural area in Chickasaw County. We might not have a lot of time to get back that next couple minutes, so heads up, Van Fleet, Jolly, Okolona. This is heading your way and eventually will head into Monroe County. Let's go north. I also show some new rotation. I want to verify it with precipitation mode between Haluka and Van Fleet. Embedded, hard to determine, but similar to what we had up in Alcorn County, this could be embedded rotation back behind the main thunderstorm itself. So certainly something we want to treat seriously. Okay, now we're going to pull those double boxes back up, and we might have to pan this camera a little bit to the right. This is looking from our sky cam, our tower cam, here in Saltillo, basically, toward the rain-free base on this thunderstorm. And in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the radar data. There's where the rotation is, and that's what we're pointing at. And so you can see there is at least a point there where we are not dealing with precipitation extending all the way to the ground there. Let's pull Skycam full for a moment. A tower cam full. Okay, so this is our wall cloud right here. You can see on your screen there. There is an area in the middle where we are not dealing with a tornado on the ground, but this is a very low base. Updrafts in this thunderstorm very strong. We could see a tornado pop out of this at any time. Jeff, you're hearing me back there. I want you to keep an eye on this. I don't want to dwell on tower cam not producing, but as long as we have eyeballs on this, we will know when it does, and that is a significant possibility that that is trying to produce a tornado pretty much as we speak. There's about 3 areas there of intense concern.
We are getting
on this
reports from the National Weather Service, and just from a tornado on the ground near Enville, heading towards Sherman. This tornado is now located near Sherman, and that was just a few minutes ago.
Okay, hold on.
So that would pull it just northeast of Sherman or east of Sherman.
So that'd be this storm here. That's this storm here. Okay, you're looking at it with us live on WTVA. We're going to pan around. Just keep panning, Jeff, because we should be seeing it here. Let's go right a little bit more. That might have been it to the left. Just keep going to right. Just a couple more clicks here, if we can, and we might have maxed out how far we can go. We are? Okay. Let's go left 2 clicks. Right there. Right there. Can we pop it to where I can get in front of chroma key? This could be that tornado in the generation phases here. This is hard to pick out at home, and you're obviously looking at this the same time I am. But what we're seeing here is you can see the general overall rotation taking place on this thunderstorm here. This is either a tornado on the ground or in the generation phases. Right now we are looking in, this would be extreme northern Lee County rotation leading the development of tornado. This has from time to time been a tornado that has touched down. We have reports just within the last 10 minutes of that happening near Sherman. But it's a significant situation and potentially a tornado, Jen. Let's go back to radar, make sure we're addressing the situation, and we need to adjust our positioning just a little bit here. And Jeff, if you get the chance, we might want to try to flip that sky cam, that tower cam, all the way around to the north, so we can follow this, because we're going to lose the most interesting part of that thunderstorm. But I would put it very close to Guntown right now, just west of Guntown. That's what we were looking at right there. Is on radar. I don't know that it's a touchdown right now. Now, I will say this. A tornado, by definition, is a rotating column of air initiated by a thunderstorm that extends from the cloud to the ground. So it is possible that we might have a tornado that is that rotating column of air making contact with the ground that is not showing a cloud making contact with the ground. That is possible. But as these latest scans come around on Storm Track Doppler radar,